Everyone, CL here with another month-end reading wrap-up. I barely read anything for the month of October, so I do anticipate this video being pretty short. But with that, let's go ahead and jump right into what I read this month. One of the first books I picked up was Gustav, Gloom and the People Taker. The reason I picked up this book was because it gave a very spooky Halloween type feel, and I thought that was fitting for the month of October. I did not know what to expect when I picked this up. This book is about a young boy named Gustav Gloom. He lives at this very old and creepy mansion. The neighborhood tends to avoid this place just because it's so dark and eerie. When the sun shines in the morning, it does not shine on this house. It's just always in the shadows. So the story picks up where a new family moves across the street and we learn more about Gustav and what is inside the mansion. I thought once we got inside the mansion, the world was very creative and imaginative. It reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, but like a spookier kind of dark feel to it. I'm not sure if other readers would make that comparison, but for me, that's what it reminded me of. And this is a book that I gave 5 stars. I do highly recommend reading it. It's a fast, easy read, very lighthearted and adventurous. It was very adventurous. So this is volume 1. I'm planning on reading volume 2. I'm very interested to find out more about Gustav, more about the new family that moves across the street, more about what's going on with this crazy, mysterious mansion. So 5 stars. The next book I picked up was an impulse buy at Barnes & Noble. This is a Korean comic translated into English called Bride of the Water God. This book is about a young lady who is sacrificed by her village to the water god to end a drought. So we follow this girl here into a magical kingdom where she learns more about this water god. She meets a huge array of different people who are gods themselves, and I enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars, but the problem with comics and manga in general is that volume 1 typically just scratches the surface of what you're about to see. I believe this comic here is up to 18 or 19 volumes, so you can imagine that volume 1 barely scratches the surface. We mainly just, I would say it's a very introduction to the storyline. There's nothing huge that happened, but it was enjoyable. One of the things that really drew me to this comic was the artwork. This is just one of the first pages. Look how detailed and beautiful that is. Of course, the rest of the pages are black and white, but you can just see from the detail on this page how the artwork is going to be in the rest of the comic. And when I picked this up, I actually started reading this backwards. I'm so used to reading manga back to front, right to left, that I was reading this backwards. I got like a few pages in where I realized I'm reading it the wrong way and it's not making sense. So I finally started reading it the right way, and it made a world of difference. I would like to continue reading this storyline somewhere down the line. It's not on the top of my priority list in comparison with the other mangas that I have already started that I want to finish, but it's definitely one that I would like to finish one day. So the next book or series that I read, when I go to Barnes & Noble, I like to just browse the manga because I just like to pick up random things without knowing too much about it, because I like being surprised with what the story has to bring. So one of the ones that I picked up at random because of the cover was this one here called Gunslinger Girl. This is a bind up of volume 1 through 3, and I actually picked this up because I thought this manga was like a Western, just from how she was dressed and the shotgun she was holding. And I in my mind, I was like, well, I've never read a Western type manga before. So I picked this up, and through reading the very first couple of pages, I learned really quick that this was far from a Western. This series actually takes place in Italy, and these girls here, it's about these girls who are given a second chance at life because they have these horribly tragic backstories, leaving them essentially broken and left for dead. but this agency picks them up. They turn them into cyborgs and are essentially these young assassins that have no memory of their past lives. Their memory is erased, and kind of they're retrained to be these super assassins, if you will, carrying out missions for this agency. And the series touches on these young girls and their relationship with their handler, which is like this person that cares for them and trains them, that they sort of see like as an older brother or fatherly figure. So Gunslinger Girl, this is volume 1 through 3. Not only did I read volumes 1 through 3, after I read volumes 1 through 3, I went back to Barnes & Noble and I bought the second bind-up of volumes 4 through 6. And I didn't stop there. I picked up the remaining bind-ups for the series, which I will finish in November. This was highly addicting and in some ways very sad that these girls, this is their life. This is the life that these girls have to live. I know it's not real, but it's just in my mind. I know that the sort of things that these girls experience in this manga series, that as sad as it is, their backstories happen to girls in real life. But unfortunately, those girls in real life, they don't get a second chance at life. They are usually left for dead. So when it's a very exciting series, in the same sense. It will kind of make you feel very sad, especially if you're a very empathetic person. So highly recommended. I gave these bind-ups, volumes 1 through 3 and 4 and 6, 5 stars each, and definitely going to finish the series in November. I have them all. They are incredibly addicting, and I just root for these girls. I just pray and cross my fingers that in the end of the series, at the end of the series, that they will have some sort of happily ever after, whatever that might be, but we shall see. So those are all the books that I read this month for October. Hopefully next month or this month, November, I will read more, but if I don't, that's okay too, you know, life happens. So other than that, please let me know down below in the comments what you're going to read for November, or if you read any of these mangas that I have read, especially Gunslinger Girl. I'd like to really, you know, chat with you or have someone to talk to about this series because it is pretty heavy. It can get heavy. So just being able to talk to someone who's also reading it would be fun. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.